Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. From looking around the Chamber today, I think we're suffering, apart from Plaid Cymru and UKIP, with Brexit weariness, but at least we're here to engage in the argument. We have no difficulty, of course, in supporting Plaid Cymru on the first 2 points of this motion. As I've said many, many times before, the Brexit process should not in any way be used to undermine or to row back on the devolution settlement which the people of Wales have voted for twice in referenda. And that would be a betrayal of everything which we stand for. But point 3 is totally unrealistic. The difference, of course, between Canada and Australia is that in their federal systems, they don't have the massive imbalance of population which we have in the United Kingdom, between England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, where England is 85% of the population of the country. It's inevitable in those circumstances the United Kingdom government is not going to accept what this motion asks for, and therefore I simply can't understand why it's being put forward. All that you do in those circumstances is to undermine the good point, which is that, of course, the interests of Wales should be properly considered and taken into account by the United Kingdom government, because they are inevitably different from other parts of the country, in particular in agriculture, as we know. And the import-export position in Wales is different from the United Kingdom as a whole. And even though we are massively in deficit with trade with the EU, we export to them £250 billion a year of goods. They export to us well over £300 billion. So 7% of our UK GDP is accounted for. Only 7%, 93% is trade either internally or with the rest of the world. Let's keep it in perspective. I should say that to Lynette Morgan. Then there's a bigger percentage of our gross national product which is consumed by what we purchase from them. That is our bargaining counter with them. Yes, sure.
Do you accept that it is vital to focus on what we can do and where we can try to influence? And when you say that we are in a huge deficit, we in Wales are not. We have a surplus.
I said that a moment ago. But to carry on debating on the basis that the United Kingdom has the slightest possibility of adopting this policy is a complete and utter waste of time, and actually undermines the good points that we could make. That is the burden of what I want to say in this debate. And the idea that single market membership, however defined, is going to be a runner is again not practical politics. Why are we flogging this dead horse? I mean, we would be in the single market on that basis, but unable to take part in the decision-making processes. I mean, that in a sense is worse than what we've got now. And not only that, we would be making a financial contribution, which was one of the arguments for leaving the EU in the first place, because we contribute, as we know, net every year £8 billion, and a very significant part of that would continue to be paid if we were members of the single market, even on the basis of the Swiss model or the Norwegian model, both of which are very different, of course. Switzerland is free to, and has done, in fact, enter into a free trade agreement with China. Whereas the EU has been wholly unable to agree one in the last 50 years. And you look down the list of the 56 countries that the EU have trade agreements with, they include Jersey and Guernsey, for example, Andorra, Montenegro, San Marino. They don't have any trade agreements with any country of any serious size in the world, apart from South Korea and Mexico. And the great I don't think I've got time, I'm sorry. The great opportunity that lies for us in being outside the customs union is that we can enter into trade agreements with the major players in the world. It is difficult, it takes time, obviously, to enter into free trade agreements. We don't have that possibility when the details of those agreements have to be agreed with 27 other member states, which is why the EU has been incapable of entering into these. And Canada is coming up, but how long has it taken to negotiate that? There is now not going to be a trade deal with the United States, but we can agree one. And the United States is vastly important to the Welsh economy because they're our biggest single national export destination. So this is the freedom that we have as a result of being outside the EU. I'm surprised that Plaid Cymru continues to fight this battle, which was lost a year ago. Because, yes, of course, the British government should talk meaningfully on a regular basis to the Welsh Government. But if all the First Minister does is to carry on banging on about something which the British Government is never going to agree to, what is the point of those discussions? If you want to succeed, go with the grain and not against it. And I've urged him, therefore, to involve Andrew R.T. Davis and myself in a common approach to the United Kingdom Government, because, after all, this is a battle that we have fought and won. I mean, I've been fighting this battle since before most of the members opposite there were born, having joined the Anti-Common Market League in 1967. And, of course, I want the outcome for Wales that they want. But at least the method that I employ is one which has a ghost of a chance of success, whereas theirs has none whatsoever.
Thank you very much.